Hello out there, YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I recently reached over 4,000 subscribers, and I want to just say I thank you guys for your support and the ongoing subscriptions. It means a lot to me, and I'm here to here to basically help, to give back, so to speak. And I want to send out a shout to Martin. How you doing out there? And basically go into some other things, some tips about guitars, some studio issues, because I did a video a while back called Studio Tales. And this is kind of like part two. Well, I talk about some more experiences as far as working in the studio because knowledge is king. When I was a younger guy, I had the privilege of hanging out with older guys, and they kind of schooled me. They told me, what to look for and what to deal with and what to expect. So I'm trying to do the same thing because you don't know what you don't know. And there are a lot of young musicians out there that, they need a little more guidance, a little more information, a little more knowledge. So, I try to do my best in that area to help the younger people as far as, what they're trying to do. And I just want to say this first. I literally get hundreds of requests a day. And unfortunately, like I said before, it's physically impossible to fill all of those. And I'll, whenever I can, when they're easy, I'll do them and I'll post them. But I want you to be mindful that I have a tabbing service as well that, if you're one of those people that you just have a song that you need to have done and you're playing in the band, you don't have the sheet music, go through my tabbing service. It's only $10 per song, 2-song minimum. I'll post your video and then I'll send you a DVD. Because I've had some people that will send me 7, 8 requests at once, and I'm like, unfortunately, I'm not the human jukebox, and it's just impossible to do all those songs for just you, because I got, again, literally hundreds of people asking for stuff every day. So, be mindful of that. If you have a request, send me one, but 5 or 6 or 7 can do. So, but I just thought I would mention that. It's not that I'm being mean or anything. I just physically don't have the time because I'm gonna do a quick breakdown as far as how videos come to life, how I do them. First, I sit down and I tab the song as far as mapping out the chords. That could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Then I have to map out the structure of the song, which could take another 20, 30, 40 minutes, or maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then I have to edit the song. And that's where the time really goes in, where I put the chords on the bottom, and then I do color correction and, all these other graphics. And then I do what's called rendering it once I finish it, which takes about an hour to do. Then when I render it, it could take anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to render. So we're talking about like 5 hours for one song. So I just thought I would, share that because a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into certain things. When I first started doing music production, I used to deal with a lot of rappers. And there were people that literally thought a 5-minute rap song took 5 minutes to do. And it's like, no, this could take 4 or 5 days to do. Today we might lay the drum track and the bass. Then we come back the next day and maybe do the vocals. Then we do overdubs. So you know what? It's interesting to find out or figure out or find out how these things are done because most people don't think about the preparation. They just think about the final product, So just thought I would, acknowledge that it takes a great deal of time to put these videos together. And I love doing it, but, time sometimes restrict me from doing as much or as many as I can. So again, if you are really serious about trying to get a song tagged because you need to learn it, inbox me and I'll give you the details as far as, how, the tabbing service works. And I got quite a few subscribers that I appreciate you guys that have utilized the tabbing service, so just thought, again, I would mention that. So, I guess I'm going to kind of talk about, some things that you might need to be aware of. And here is one of them. When I first started writing songs, I used to submit them to places and publishing companies. And then eventually there were some people that had a lot of faith in me and they published some of my stuff. But before I got to those people, I ran into these kind of people. Send your song, and there's an entry fee of $50. And I'm asking myself, why do I have to pay you to submit a song to you that might be beneficial to you as well? And whenever you run into those types of people or companies that want money up front, leave those people alone because it's a scam. You know, I remember when I lived in Chicago back in the 80s, they were looking for songwriters to pen some songs on Shalimar. That's after Howard Hewitt had left. They got another guy. So they were like, attention songwriters, if you have some songs, please submit them. $25 entry fee. And I'm like, again, to me, that's the scam because most likely they're not going to use unsolicited songs. Because normally how that works is you have a music attorney or a business manager, and they will submit your songs to these professional record companies. That's how it works. Normally when you just try to send your demo to Capitol Records, you get a letter back with your demo back saying that we do not take unsolicited material, you know, because everybody got to be cut into the picture. You know, everybody got to get a piece of the pie because, I mean, me personally, I don't feel that I should have to go through an attorney to submit my stuff, but that's how business work. You know, there's always legal representation. And I think for the most part is, you know, they got to put these people into the picture. You know, they're the middleman, you know, but I personally don't think that there's a need for that, but that's how it works. It's extremely rare that companies will take unsolicited material. You have to go through a music attorney who submitted to the record companies. That's how that works. So be leery of people that want you to pay them to submit your stuff because it's a scam. I got a comment from a gentleman when I was talking about, you know, some of these other things before, as far as the video was how to form a band. And I said that the best way is to go to the music store and hang out where musicians go. Music store, nightclubs, and they have talent night at certain nightclubs, go. And he asked me, what about Bandmate? And I had never heard Bandmate. And I asked him, what is that? And he said, it's a service that you pay and they link you up with musicians. And I'm like, you shouldn't have to pay for that. You know, that's something that we used to do back in the day for free. So why should you pay for that now? You know, the majority of the bands I was in, I was lucky because I look at my bandmates as like family members, not just about the music, but the friendships and the camaraderie that we had with each other. And you know, even when we weren't playing music, sometimes we would hang out. We'd go to the show, have dinner, we'd go bowling, and you build a good friendship as well as, you know, building a good band. And I kind of recommend that because you don't want to play with people that you don't like. Now, it's kind of different when you're getting paid to do this, but you really don't want to do it with the people that you're doing it with. But this is business. So, yeah, you got to sometimes do that. But when you are within a band, it shouldn't be that way. Now, when you are a studio musician, yeah, you play with people that you hate, you know, literally, because they're just not good people. I mean, I give you one good example. I can work with anybody, but I never forget it. I had a lady that she was referred to me through another person that did production work. She heard my stuff, she liked it, and she came to me and said, I want you to help me with these 3 gospel songs. Now, that was the first flag for me because I really don't do gospel, and it's not that I don't love it or don't respect it. I do. It's just that I'm not a gospel musician. That's just like asking a country and western guy to produce your raps album. You know, it's just, you know, 2 different styles, and they really don't usually match. So I took it reluctantly because she was really persistent. So she brought me the songs, and very difficult to get along with. I mean, very opinionated on stuff that she knew nothing about because I'm like, if you're questioning this, why don't you just do it yourself? You know, you came to me for me to do my job, and I'm trying to do that. Long story short, I got so frustrated with this woman that after I finished the second song, I gave her full refund back and said, I can't do this anymore. This is not working for me. And one reason, and this has nothing to do with music, but I look at you as a person as far as what kind of person you are. And that helps me, you know, kind of deal with you or, you know, work with you in the studio. And I never forget it. When I finished the first song, she came over with her kids. It was 2 boys, and they were foster kids. And I observed how badly she treated them, you know, screaming at them. And I'm like, kids are kids, and kids run, kids jump. And that right there kind of made me, it was the deciding factor that I couldn't work with her because she's very cruel to these children. And I've been told that some people, and not all, that when they go get foster children, it's about the money that they get from the state to take care of them. It's not about the kids themselves. And that's kind of how I felt with this situation, even though that was just my assumption. But, you know, based on that, I decided that, you know, I couldn't work with her anymore, because I try to center myself around positive people and people that you can kind of relate to and connect to. And I try to keep negative people out of my circle at all costs, because, you know, when you're around negative people and toxic people, you become toxic too. So that's something that most of us don't think about when we do our music, as far as who we do our music with. That's very important. You know, because again, when you feel good with a group of guys that you're with playing, you play better. When you're with a group of people that you kind of really don't like, you don't play as good as you would normally play. You know, it affects your playing. A lot of people, you know, don't take that real serious, but I do, because I got to be comfortable when I play. You know, that's why I put the duct tape on there, and I had somebody say, "This is the ghettoest thing I've ever seen." But it works. It's comfortable. It's in the studio setting, and even if I were playing live, ain't nobody going to come up on stage and say, "Why you got duct tape on your guitar? It look terrible." They're only concerned about you playing your guitar or your instrument well, you know, so it is what it is. But, you know, I'm going to make this short, and I'm going to do some more series of these videos. And, you know, I hope this was enlightening and informative. And until next time, take care.